Hello, I'm Rachel and I'm a third year archaeology student here at the University of Nottingham. Today I'm at the Humanities Building, which is home to the Department of Classics and Archaeology. Now, one of my favourite parts about the course was the chance to do practical activities in the labs. So today I'm here to talk to some of the lecturers who teach in the facilities to learn more about them. As you can see from the skeleton we have laid out before us, we are in the Bones Lab, and in first year I remember coming in here, being given bags of bones, and we had to lay out the whole skeleton. So this is the kind of thing that happens in this room, isn't it?
Yes. So in the first year we give you a general sort of idea of the human skeleton, and then in the second or third year you can take a module with me which is human osteology, where we go into the human skeleton in much more detail. And I think you did some of that detail.
Yes, so we had to sex and age the skeleton by looking at different bones and the shapes of them. So what skeletons do you have available in this lab?
So we mainly work on Roman skeletons, which are from the on-campus archaeology museum. And we also have a paleopathology collection, which is a collection of individuals with diseases or with broken bones or trauma, which allows us to give a much more rounded picture of an individual. So yes, we can look at age, we can look at sex, we can look at stature, we can look at diseases, and give a much fuller picture of life in the past.
Brilliant, thank you very much. I really enjoyed this part of my course and it's been great to come back and talk to you about it. We're here in the materials lab. Now, one of my favourite bits about archaeology is the fieldwork, and in first year I was very excited when I found a piece of Roman glass.
Right, well that's fantastic. It's amazing stuff, glass, isn't it? And it just so happens we've got some bits and pieces behind me, and here is, for example, is this beautiful aqua coloured jug, Roman jug. It's probably 1st, 2nd century AD. It's got this lovely little dark streak through it. So what students can do if they come here is to examine a whole wide range of vessel forms, Roman and other periods of course, reconstruct their functions, tell us what kind of social value they had and how they compare with other material found in the same context like ceramics and metal, for example. And what's more, if they did a dissertation on glass, for example, they might use the cutting-edge scientific techniques that we have available, such as the British Geological Survey or on campus in the Nano Centre.
So what are the other practical activities that students can do in this lab?
So in addition to laying out the stuff and examining it, which forms part of the practicals, they also recreate dyes and perfumes in another module, which I know you've done yourself and you rather enjoy.
Yes, that was one of my favourite modules in second year. Well, thank you very much for talking to us about the materials lab. Out of all the labs, this is the one that I've spent the most time in because this is the teaching lab. So please could you tell me a bit more about this room and what happens here?
Sure. So yes, you'll have spent the most time in here because this is where we like to do a lot of our small group teaching, and we try and do quite a lot of that. So we do our seminars in here, we get you involved with lots of the materials that are kind of housed in this room, and anytime we kind of really want to bring you in on the conversation and get you talking about the archaeology, that pretty much happens in here.
I remember learning about the basics of zoo archaeology in here, and also the humans, animals, landscape module as well. So could you tell me a bit about that and the sorts of things that you do in here?
Yeah, so those will be our kind of core zoo archaeology modules. So getting you in here, looking at the animal bones, doing some comparative anatomy, because all of the animals that we find archaeologically, they tend to have the same bones, but they're just a slightly different size or shape or configuration. So we learn all of that through comparative anatomy, so that when you're looking at something in the archaeology, you know what it is.
Yes.
But of course, by the time it's in the archaeology, it's dead. And the other thing we want to look at is actually moving beyond that core zoo archaeology, so that training and the core skills, and actually talking about the relationships that people have with their animals and with their environments when people were living and kind of working with them in the past.
That's great. Thank you for talking to me about what happens in the teaching lab.